Salt makes almost everything taste better, but most of us eat far too much of it, and over the years, your heart is the organ that quietly pays the price. Your body actually needs a little sodium every day. The real problem is the amount, because most people take in nearly double what the heart would prefer. On average, adults eat well over 3,000 milligrams of sodium a day, while many heart guidelines suggest aiming closer to 1,500. So what does salt actually do inside you? Sodium helps control the balance of fluid in and around your cells, and your nerves and muscles depend on it. Your kidneys are the managers of this balance. They decide how much sodium to hold on to and how much to flush out in your urine. In small amounts, the whole system runs smoothly. The trouble begins when far more sodium arrives than your kidneys can comfortably clear. Here is the key idea. Where sodium goes, water tends to follow, so when sodium builds up, your body holds on to extra water to balance it. That extra water means more fluid inside your blood vessels, and more fluid means a larger volume of blood pressing against the vessel walls. More volume in the same pipes means higher pressure. That is the simplest way to picture how a salty diet can quietly push blood pressure up. Over time, high salt can also make small arteries tighten and stiffen, which adds even more resistance for your heart to push against. None of this happens overnight. It is the slow, daily drip of too much sodium that researchers link with steadily rising blood pressure. And blood pressure is where your heart enters the story, because your heart is the pump that has to move blood against all that pressure. When pressure stays high, your heart muscle has to work harder with every single beat day and night, without ever getting a real break. Like any muscle that is overworked, the heart's main pumping chamber can thicken over time, a change doctors call left ventricular hypertrophy. A thicker heart wall might sound stronger, but it is actually stiffer and less efficient, and it is linked with a higher risk of heart problems. High salt intake is also associated with heart failure, where a strained heart struggles to pump enough blood to meet the body's needs. Some of this may be tied to blood pressure, but research suggests very high salt can stress the heart in ways that go beyond pressure alone. Your arteries feel it too. Constant high pressure can damage their delicate inner lining and speed up the stiffening of the vessel walls. Stiffer, pressured arteries set the stage for serious events, and higher long-term sodium is associated with a greater risk of stroke. It is worth being honest here. The stroke evidence is strong but not perfectly settled, and a few large reviews have found weaker links. Still, across many studies, a lower salt intake tends to go hand in hand with fewer heart attacks, fewer strokes, and fewer cardiovascular deaths. Now for a surprise. Most of the salt you eat is not the salt you sprinkle on at the table while making dinner. More than 70% of the sodium in a typical diet comes from packaged, processed, and restaurant foods you may never think of as salty. Bread, deli meats, soups, sauces, cheese, and savory snacks are common hiding places, where sodium quietly adds up long before dessert. Even foods that do not taste salty at all, like a plain slice of bread or a bowl of cereal, can carry surprising amounts of sodium. This is good news because it means your biggest wins come from your shopping cart, not just from putting down the salt shaker. Salt does not affect everyone equally. Some people are what researchers call salt sensitive, meaning their blood pressure responds strongly to sodium. Salt sensitivity tends to rise with age, so older adults often see a bigger jump in blood pressure from the very same salty meal. People who already have high blood pressure, kidney problems, or a strong family history may also feel the effects of excess salt more. If any of these describe you, watching your sodium is one of the simplest and cheapest ways to take some pressure off your heart. So how do you cut back without eating bland food forever? The trick is to lower salt gradually, and your taste buds will quietly adjust. Start by reading labels, comparing the sodium per serving, and choosing the lower option when two products are otherwise much the same. Cook a little more at home, where you control the salt, and lean on herbs, spices, garlic, and a squeeze of citrus for flavor instead. Eat more potassium-rich foods, like fruit, vegetables, beans, and leafy greens, which can help your body balance sodium, unless your doctor limits potassium. Eating patterns built around whole foods, like the well-studied DASH approach, are linked with lower blood pressure and a healthier heart. And even a modest cut matters. Trimming about 1,000 milligrams of sodium a day can meaningfully lower blood pressure for many people. A quick caution: If you take medication, have kidney disease, or follow a special diet, talk to your doctor before making any big changes. And remember, this is general education, not personal medical advice, because the right sodium target really depends on your own health. The big picture is reassuring. Your heart is remarkably resilient and steady. Small changes to salt can add up to real protection over time. Small shakes add up. Subscribe to A Healthy Dose for more simple, honest health explainers.